Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Trunkhead with Trunkhead Gaming. This is going to be a season review and playoff preview for Bad Guys Inc. There will be a lot of rambling as I kind of meander through stuff. This is just, I haven't posted a video in a long time, so I wanted to put something out. Um, and part of the reason I haven't played, I have had just some brutal dice lately. Um, so I haven't been playing a lot because when you get really bad dice, when you get consistently bad dice, you start to make bad decisions on top of your bad dice, which just compounds it. And I went through about a 3.5 weeks of just making bad choices, getting bad dice, getting bad games. So I hadn't been playing very much. Also, this season's pretty much wrapped up. We finished up my last opponent, Amana Mania. The Dark Elf coach, he did a no-show. We scheduled for Monday and didn't show up, and then didn't respond. Um, so I didn't even get my last game in. So we haven't seen the Bad Guys Inc. in a hot minute. And that was unfortunate. He seemed kind of down when we were scheduling the game. Like he was just like, all right, let's go ahead and get this loss over with. And I had a couple opponents towards the end of the season feel that way. As you know, you're playing the number one team in the division. Your season's mid to fair or not even doing that well, and you get frustrated. So hopefully next season in Division Two, um, people don't feel that way towards the end of the season. So anyway, let's go over Bad Guys Inc. Let's start the history. So this team started out. I re-rolled my old squad, Tiny Bubbles, and I did that because um, I did that because they got killed, basically over 4 games, which you've heard many times. They got killed by Sais and King of Cosmos. Killed all my guard pieces, and then Bobby Bintang finished them off in the playoffs, and it was all bad. So I re-rolled into humans. At the time, I was playing humans almost exclusively. It's only the team I was playing, and I really enjoy them. It turns out I really like hybrid teams, and Dark Elves are a hybrid team, but they don't have anybody to hit with. They have no strength access. So I had gotten into humans, and I was playing them humans pretty hard. This is my first game. This is my first game, and so far, this is my only loss. This is the Gold Coast Cutthroats. Um, I took this game. This is my very first game. I, of course, was completely fresh. And then he had, I think, 200. He was like 1250. I want to say this coach's name is. I don't know if it's on here. So anyway, this coach, Gold Coast Cutthroats, I want to say Sam Slade. I want to say it's a G-Man coach, but I don't know that for a fact because I just don't remember very well. He had just got bounced in the playoffs as well. And he had his big stud blitzer was hurt, so I felt like I could play the game without losing anybody too badly. Um, so you can see here, Roadhog Ronnie, who's no longer with us, he got the MVP. So my first game out, I lost the game, and then I got Lyman MVP. So it was not a good start. But Rifleman got a couple throws. Benny the Bat got a couple injuries because I was playing AV7. And I was hoping to get that. And you could see that this game went really well for him. Um, and that was, so far, my only loss. Only loss. Most of these guys I don't really remember. Did I play Cheese in the... I did. So I played Cheese in the spin games, and I don't remember it. That is interesting. So apparently I beat Cheese in the game. I beat Cheese in the spin games, and this is before we knew our divisions, of course, so we had no idea. And I had played Cheese. I think this was our fourth game. Um, it sounds about right, third or fourth game, and I lost one. I want to say I lost one, I tied one, and I beat him twice. Um, and I don't generally like to play orcs, especially as humans. So anyway, it looks like I beat Cheese, and that was interesting. I remember that. This right here was a snipe. I was supposed to play dwarfs right here. And I don't remember this game at all. Oh, this is actually this is Reekland Regurgitators. This is Sandune. He was gonna respin. He's gonna give up the Shadow Hill Cowboys, went to Big O, and he was gonna play Nurgle. So he had made a Nurgle team. This is them, the Reekland Regurgitators, and then I beat them 2-0. So that was Sandune, and this is Cheese. Game I don't remember, but apparently I lost a loner lineman who got the MVP, fucker. So that hurts. You go into spin game, you're trying to get SPP. And then this game was supposed to be dwarfs. I had arranged a game versus dwarf, and I started to play. And then this RRT rat game guy, who I believe is Division 2, or maybe he's in Division 4. Anyway, he kind of sniped me. I don't think he did it on purpose. He's like, oh man, I didn't expect a good game. I was just gonna spin around and see what happens. Which is why you're supposed to always schedule your games in the postseason spin match because you don't want to take somebody else's game. So it's supposed to be dwarfs, and it ended up being rats. It was my last spin game, and I took it because I couldn't play any more spin games, and I had a hell of a haul. I won 2-1, and let's see, there's 13. I had 22 SPP out of this game, so I was okay with I was okay with it. And then Tiny, I believe, got the MVP and got his level. So I mean, this was a really good game. This is the last time Tiny was ever any decent for me. So I came out and spent 3-1, and then I started the season, and then my very first game was Rumblebee, which is right here, and I tied him. And, I was up 2-1 with 2 turns left, and he managed to get back and score, but I only had I don't know 4 or 5 guys on the pitch at the time, so I wasn't putting out much of a defense. And then we just kind of started a run. This is the first game. I started out 0-1-0, and then there's Pirate Turtle. I beat him. So in the beef, this was the Chaos Coach. I actually played this game. I managed to handle that pretty well. Early Chaos is pretty tough. Here's Spoonie. You saw that game. And there's Cheese. This is the game right here. Cheese Tactics. This is second time I played this game. Apparently, totally forgot about him. This is a game that kind of set my season apart. So you saw the replay. This is my first cast ever, and I had actually wasn't going. I was just recording games with sound, and I picked that game for a couple of reasons. One, because Sace kept bothering me to do his fucking recap, so I went and bought a new mic anyway. And then after that game, Cheese, if you've ever played Cheese Tactics, and he's an alright guy, he's a nice guy, but he has never lost a game where he didn't get diced. And he was telling everybody how he tricked me into my ogre getting served. He had tricked me into getting my whole team surf later and only the dice, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. So I wanted to cast the game, and I did, because I wanted to show people that it wasn't so much the dice, it was that he misplayed, and then I capitalized on it. So that was a big game, and that kind of started my run. Like he could have been first place if he won that, or tied for first place. I think I was second at the time actually. Tyranny of Kyros and Pale Scales were both ahead of me. So that kind of started my season off, and then I kind of went through. This was a conceded victory. I was actually arranged to play with Shiggy with it, who was my first ever REL loss 3 seasons ago, and he ended up getting he's a contract employee, right? He does some kind of he's like something about math whiz, um, and he had a contract, and he ended up not being able to get the game in. So I got a conceded victory there. Pale Scales, this was for the top of the division. This was a really great game. Jimmy Jam is really a great coach. But this was the top of the division, and then once I got through here, it was kind of smooth sailing. Mainland Rotters and Wheat Thins are about equal level. This is Wedge, and this is Tomato Squeezer. Both really cool dudes. I enjoyed both these games. I don't remember if I cast either. I cast this one. I didn't cast this one. They weren't very competitive, but they were really fun games. Like the guys that I played were really cool, and I'm glad I got to play them and meet them. Tyranny of Kyros. This is my most viewed game of all time. Um, Fun game, only high elf. Dire Stickfish is a really good coach, but his team was kind of beat up by the time I got there. And then here's All Rats, and there's Amon's Annihilator. So that was a team that was kind of the history of the Bad Guys Inc. Let's go over the Ross. I have ended up at somehow 1800 TV, which is really impressive for a human team. Now, if you notice, most of my SPP is spread out. Like I only have level 3 catchers or blitzers, excuse me. One guy's level 2 because my Blodge guy got killed by fucking Wedge, mainland Rotters. Fucker. He actually turned into a Rotter and is now playing for playing for the Rotters. Um, so yeah, I play hybrid teams a lot. And when you're a new team, you don't have a lot of options with your SPP. Like I'm 1800, but I'm not like the 1800 of the Knights of Saint Denis, for instance. My boy Mistace in Division One, he's got 2 or 3 guys who have 100 and 120 SPP. Like he's got legit level 6 guys that are almost level 7 that can carry a squad. When you're a new team like me, I don't have that option. I kind of got to take it where I can get it. So what I try to do is I try to spread out my SPP as much as possible, especially on a team like Humans. So if I lose somebody, it's not critical. Like I can still mount an offense or a defense. Like if I lose one of my Mighty Blow tackle pieces, I still have another one. I don't have as much guard as I'd like. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 guard. The guy who died, Terminator Tommy replaced, he had guard. He had Blodge, and he was going to get guard. So I was really disappointed at that. And the Terminator Tommy was 100% going to get guard, but then he rolled an 11. So he got He got AG4 or AG4 instead because stat ups on humans are they're just so important. So I feel like my team is missing some guard for sure. I definitely need a guard piece. I need these guys both need guard. So Benny the Bat's gonna level soon. I have to decide whether I want to give him guard or piling on. Um, these guys all need guard. The holy trinity for human blitzers in my mind is mighty blow, tackle, guard. And that's all you need, and that piece is complete in your set. Um, so I'm missing guard. I got lucky on MVPs after the first couple of games. I didn't get a whole lot of lineman MVPs. This get in the way, Gary. He got 2 touchdowns in the bye week from Mana Mania. So he had 3 SVPs because he had that touchdown in the Cheese Tactics game. He had that Hail Mary touchdown that sent Cheese off. And then he got 2 more touchdowns in the game. So the MVPs went to good spots, but the the touchdowns went to the lineman, and I was really down about that because I wanted those. I had 2 guys, Benny the Bat and the Rifleman, who were 1 SVP away. I wanted those guys to get the touchdowns, and that's why I wanted to play the game because I just needed to do a pass, and I was going to level these guys up. But then he rolled an 11, so now I have another AG4 piece, and I almost passed it because I really wanted. If I was going to get a lineman, I told myself I wanted the dirty player lineman. Um, But he got the 11, and I debated about it, and I'm like, I'm going to take it because it's not going to take that hard. This guy only needs 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns and throw 1 pass, and he can get blocked, and now I have another scoring threat. So my team's very versatile. Hands of Stone's my starter player because he's strength 3 catcher who moves 9. Um, so he's basically a 5th blitzer, and he's got wrestle, and I got 2 wrestle pieces, which is not unusual for me. I like wrestle on my catchers because I like them to be sackers. Um, I ended up with this team does not have a pure sacker. Like usually this guy would get wrestle and then strip ball, but he rolled doubles, and I need guard, so he's got that. I need more tackle, and we'll see why I need more tackle in just a bit. But Jimmy the Axe, he got an MVP in the game that was just had the bye, so he only needs 1 more. Likely to get stand firm unless it's a double, and then it's likely going to be fuck, I don't know. If he gets another double, it'll probably be diving tackle, because I like to have a diving tackle thrower or a catcher. Like this guy would generally be block, sidestep, diving tackle, or block, diving tackle, sidestep. But he rolled guard, sticky fingers. He might actually be my MVP. He won me a lot of games because he just had guard. He got knocked down a lot, and he's got a bounty on him. But he got that guard, and it was my only guard at the time. He did me a lot of good. So I'd like to get another catcher, but I might not need one because I got this guy. I got this guy. So we'll see what happens there. Tiny Bubbles. Tiny Bubbles is named after my previous squad. I wanted to have a kind of play on words there, so I built my team around Tiny Bubbles. I was like, how do I gonna pay homage to my last team? I'm like, well, I'm just gonna call my ogre Tiny, and then his last name will be Bubbles, and that's how the nickname theme came across. He's been a sack of shit all season. He had that 1 or 2 good games in the spins, and then I was like, this is gonna be a hero. He ain't done a bunch of shit, but he has eaten space, which is what he's supposed to do. He takes the middle of the field generally, and he holds it, which is what humans need the ogre to do. So the team's looking pretty good going into the playoffs. I know my only issue is that I have, because my SVP, my team value is so high, that I'm going to be giving up a lot of inducements in my first game. My first game is against Sin and Virtue, which I cast their game earlier. Not earlier today, but last week, I believe. They're already open right there. So Sin and Virtue is a high elf team who lost their move 9 catcher. So they're 1400 SP, so that's 400 TV, but he is short a 1 player, so he's going to 70, so he's going to get 330 inducements against me in our game. And you can see he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 5 dodge pieces. And I only have 2 tackle pieces. So it's going to be difficult. That's going to be a pain in the ass. From what I've seen, I've only seen him play 1 game. He runs his offense different than Dire Sick Fish. He likes to cage up, come on the field, and control. Sickfish wanted to sit back and then try and throw the ball. So we'll see which one he decides to do. But this guy's Charity. This is his catcher. He's got two catchers. These are the AV7 guys. So you always want to keep your eye out for AV7 and AV8s, the guys that are lower in armor, because you want to hurt them, of course. And then he's got a badass lineman and his blitzer. So he's short a blitzer because his blitzer got killed, and he's short a catcher because his badass catcher got killed. Uh, and I've only seen him play once, so I don't really know. I mean, the game I saw, he did a really great job. So this could be a really tough game for me. All this AG4 and me only having two tackle, so that's gonna be it's gonna be a good game. I don't know what his strategy is going to be. Um, he only has one, two. He's only got three, four block on the whole team, and then he's got one wrestle piece. And I have four. I have five block and two wrestles, so I outblock him. I definitely outguard him. I have two more mighty blow, but I also, I mean, I'm giving him. He's gonna get a wizard for sure, and high elves with wizards are always dangerous because it's easy for them to capitalize, right? With all these AG4, they can pop you, they can go down there and pick up the ball. So that makes me a little nervous. And then he can probably get a star player. He could get bribes. He can do all kinds of shit. Um, but we'll see. It's gonna be a good game. I don't know anything about him. I don't know. I like getting to play cross time zones. He's only carrying two team roles because he's got leader over here. So if you can get out Sloth, which is Sin and Virtue, Sloth, Humility, Diligence. If you can kill out Sloth, they only have two rerolls. And elves need rerolls, so that might be a game plan right there. And then if I somehow manage to get past him, my next opponent will be Morka from the Big O. And I cast that game. I cast his clinching game against Sand Dune. And his team is nasty. Now the only good thing about playing Morka is that Morka will have higher TV than me. He is 2070, so right now I'll be picking up 270 TV. So I would get a wizard plus whatever else I wanted. But his team is gross. He's got a tree with block. He's got this mighty blow piling on fucking war dancer. I don't understand how this guy's still alive. And this guy put in some work. Like I watched him put in work. He got doubles on his other war dancer, the strip ball guy, and gave him Juggernaut. I don't have any stand firm, but I do have a fair amount of wrestle. When I say fair amount, I've got two. So he can knock them down. Four catchers, two of them diving catch. One guy's move 9. I actually have two move 9 pieces, so I have that going for me. Overall, he's faster. High out. What elves are the only? I don't mix up elves all the time. What elves are the only? What elves and rats are the only teams faster than humans? So he's gonna have me the speed advantage, but this guy right here, he's gonna be a pain in the ass. And he's got he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 6 dodge pieces. And again, I only have 2 tackles. So if I manage to beat Sin and Virtue, I hopefully can pick up tackle somewhere in there. And I don't know where I can get it. I don't think I can, to be honest. I would need to win by 4 touchdowns. I need to score 4 touchdowns at least to get more tackle. No, I can't do that. I mean, I can, but it's not easy. And he's got a dirty player kick, and then another mighty blow. So he actually has 3 mighty blow, which is the same number of mighty blow I have. Um, so he's got on his big guy. His big guy's strength 6. His big guy's better than mine. It's slower, but his strength 6 does not have grab. Important to note. He's got this guy's unskilled. This guy's a killer. This guy's a star player. I don't have any star players. I don't have anybody who's like, this is my go-to piece. And this is his go-to piece. And then this catcher. So this is what I have in front of me. I have elf to elf. And you just don't get a lot of experience against elves because there's not a lot of elf coaches out there. And then if I somehow manage to win that game, it gets a lot more murky after that. The rest of my bracket is I would play the winner of Yeti the Party and the 99ers, which is Bleeding Hippie. Those guys are going to play a game, and then the winner of that game plays the winner of Black and White and Interdimensional Bullshit, which you've seen Interdimensional Bullshit. You've seen Yeti the Party. You've not seen the 99ers. And so of those 4 teams, one of those 4 teams, Most likely, I can't even say most likely because both Soul and Bleeding Hippie are amazing coaches, and Toast Guy, Interdimensional Bullshit's an amazing coach. I don't know anything about Black and White other than he's REL4. He won REL4, so I don't know anything about him. So it's really tough to say if I somehow got past Morka, and that's I'm gonna be a big underdog in this game. I'll be under TV. He'll be rested. His team's better than mine, so I'll be a big underdog. But if I somehow got past that, I will get either Hippie, Soul, or Toast Guy, and then I don't know Black and White. I don't know who the coach is. So sorry. Maybe his name is Fiction. Does that sound right? Um, I'm not discounting your chances, but I just don't know you that well. So um, I'm gonna say I know Bleeding Hippie and Soul are amazing coaches, and I've seen Toast Guy who managed to finish fourth in G-Man 1, which is an all bash team. He did it with High Elves. So I'm assuming he's a very good coach as well. So I'm going to say the odds are likely one of those guys is going to get through. Um, and then it gets really nasty because the division above me to get into the championship game would be that division has Horny Cricket. It's got Sand, or excuse me, it's got Horny Cricket. It's got uh, the fuck is this guy's name? Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, and that's gonna have either Gerber or Sage. So getting into the final game is going to be a long road. But the way I look at it is, to get to the final game, you have to beat some amazing coaches because there's nothing but amazing coaches left at this point. So you got to beat them sometime anyway. The best bracket to be in is the lower left hand bracket because there's no first place Division One coaches in there. Nobody gets a bye, so the teams aren't as good, just by definition. We're looking at black and white here. Black and white. Gloom and Zoom. Another cool name. Black and white. So the 1620 Undead. Phaedrus is his name. Yeah, he's the one that's got to play Interdimensional Bullshit. He's going to play Toast Guy's High Elves. He ain't got no tackle. So that's gonna be a tough game for him. And I won't go over every matchup, but that's what I have in front of me. I have Cineverse, you have High Elves, and then I have Wood Elves. And then I don't know. Maybe I have Norse. Maybe I have Nurgle. Bleeding Hippie's Nurgle team they're pretty gross. My only good thing about them is they don't have any tackle, and I have some dodge. So that's what we've been. That's where we're going. Um, it's gonna be tough for a human team to get the championship game just to even get there. But I've had a really good time this season, man. I met some cool people. Division 3 was a blast. I had a really great time. The team has been fun to play, and they've developed really nice. And I've got some cool skill ups. I got two move nines. I got a couple doubles for guard. I got the two killers. These guys are efficient because there's no doubles on these guys. And I just got these two AG guys. They're both brand new to me, so they've been really good. So I've enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't get was a block ogre. Um, if Tiny doesn't get block on his third roll up, he might just get cycled. There might be a new Tiny Bubbles. We'll probably have the same name. It's just really a block ogre makes a huge difference on a human team. Makes it makes a team from that's got a scramble to a team that can just fucking pound you. Like you can bash people when you have a block ogre, especially on a team where I'm starting to build some mighty blow. Ideally, I would get one more so I could hit all my first hits on my drive could all be mighty blow. But I don't really have anywhere to fit it in right now. Like these guys all have other priorities. This guy's probably gonna get stand firm if I had to guess, and then he can probably get grab. I don't know what tournament time is gonna get. Don't have a lot of experience with AG4 blitzers on human teams. Most of my AG they have been on my catchers and they work great. But with blitzers, I don't really know what to do because they have strength access. So I'll have to get some advice on that and see what I want to do. It might just be tackle for now because I'm short on tackle and I have a lot of elves coming up. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Pretty excited. Pretty excited about this guy. I've had a good season, man. Uh, Started doing YouTube for the first time. Up to 14 subscribers. Yes. Thank you to the faithful 14. Um, it's been a fun ride. We get about I'm ranged between 30 and 40 views. 40 is my high end. I only got a couple that have broken 40, but usually around 30. 30 to 35-ish. It's been fun, so hopefully some people, you guys will pass the word around and we can keep doing this. I will be playing referees tomorrow in G-Man, my BC2 game. It's also a human squad that has clearly struggled to develop. They have a block ogre. It just hasn't done me any good. This team's really struggles. See, I've only got 2 catchers. My blitzers both are basically fresh. It's just this team's been struggling, and they've had a tough season. So tomorrow they play St. Cloud, and the referees for Nurgle. So that'll be fun. And then what else do I have on the horizon? I have my WCW match. I haven't cast my last WCW matches. They were both wicked dicings. My last WCW match, I actually had an over 5 fireball. So that's a 3% chance. That game started out, I 2 died a Chaos Warrior, got a push into a 1 die, got a push again, tried to dodge away with my Wolf, 1 and 9, turned the ball over. The very next turn, I want to say I 1 and 9 again, which put him in position. He caged up hard, so I put a fireball on 5 dudes, and they all resisted. That's that's how my dice were going. So but I have that match coming up, and I want to say I played Duberman. I think. Yeah, Duberman. Oh, this is a close TV match. So that should be a fun game. I'll probably cast that one too. We won't see the Bad Guys Inc. for at least another week and a half because G-Man 5 hasn't rolled yet, and they have one more week and it's close. And then Sin and Virtue for the old Bad Guys Inc. So anybody, thanks for watching, guys. If you subscribe, thanks for subscribing. If you like the videos, hopefully you'll share them. I try to be as instructional as possible. I try to cover as many games as possible about in the Rebel. I cover my own games, of course. And in my own games, I actually like casting because I talk through my moves and it slows me down. And I think I do better when I cast live. Um, yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Listen to me ramble. I know Sace will be doing a playoff preview pretty soon. You can listen to him ramble for a little while. I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you guys did. Had a fun season. See ya.